So, good evening, everybody. I am Josh Bieber. I am the Executive Director of Teach for America here in Massachusetts. And I just, first and foremost, really grateful for people taking time out of their busy schedules, teachers and supporters alike, to come here and spend some time with us. And I'm going to talk for maybe a minute, but I just wanted to frame kind of why we're here and then let a few other folks take the mic, and then we'll spend the rest of the night just hanging out. And so in terms of why we're here, it does strike me as important just to note that, clearly when we planned this event, it was not 72 hours after one of the more tragic moments probably in our national history. And as an educator and with lots of educators in the room, and as someone from Connecticut who actually spent some time in Newtown growing up, it hits close to home. And, so there was even a momentary pause where we thought, this is such a positive celebration, should we be even having the event? And I thought we should, because if anything in moments like this, it reminds me the importance of community and connection and relationships and meaningful human bonds. And so that was really the purpose of tonight in the first place, which was we are brand new here in New Bedford, and we know there is a rich and vibrant and connected community that our teachers and our staff have been welcomed into and hoping to continue to plug into. And so we just wanted to have a night where folks could get together and meet each other and hopefully connect, and that turn into a deeper relationships and connections moving forward. And then second, we wanted that to be kind of a live, human, in-person thank you note to all of our supporters in the room. So both our philanthropic supporters, the district supporters, our community supporters, we literally would not have been able to come to New Bedford, and our teachers, you would not have jobs for lots of reasons were it not for the people in this room. And we're really, really grateful. And so I just want to express our deep gratitude and appreciation for folks believing in our work and in our people, and we hope we prove your investments of multiple kinds worthwhile. So thank you all very, very much. Again, I hope people will stay as long as they can to get to know each other and all of our teachers. But first, we have a few folks who might speak. Superintendent, you're in? I'll tag you in.
Okay. Again, thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words tonight. I didn't know anything about Teach for America when I came out of retirement in May. And then I started to look into it and meeting the people for Teach for America. And I started getting a little curious about what they're all about and what they can do to help a community like New Bedford. And then I met the potential teachers, and I was totally impressed. And I finished my 37th year in education. And I had a lot of opportunities as principal and superintendent to hire and look at people grow through time. And my first meeting, at City Hall, meeting the candidates, that meeting sold me on the type of program that Teach for America is all about. Preparing people for education. And we were just talking to someone coming in and saying, first year, wherever you are at first year teaching, it's hard. And I can remember my first job at Haven High School coming out of college. I didn't want to be in education after 2 months. I wasn't sure. I didn't have confidence. And then I had a few veteran teachers to help me along. And by the first year, I made it. In the second year, I started getting more involved. And then from then on, it's 37 years later. So it's one of those things where I'm so pleased to be part of this organization. Many of you know that I am interim, so I'll be done at the end of the year. But again, hopefully that we can look forward to it. Now, a little plug about New Bedford. I grew up in New Bedford. I went to Rodman School, Keith Middle School, New Bedford High School. And coming back here, and New Bedford's a unique place. I think New Bedford, if you look at it now, has its issues with where our kids are, where we are in the state of Massachusetts. But I think it's moving forward. I think we made some changes. I think, with you on board, I think New Bedford can go places. I always say you don't want to take over a team that's 10-0, but you might want to take over a team that's 2-8, because you win two more games, you become a hero. And I think right now, the things for New Bedford can jump up very quickly if we have dedicated people that come and help our children. I'm excited about seeing, even when I leave, I grew up here and I'm not leaving. I want to watch New Bedford increase the next few years, but please, get involved with activities, get involved with parents, get involved with the other teachers. New Bedford is a great place. It's a wonderful place to do teaching, and you're going to see a lot of rewards down the road. So again, I want to thank you for this invitation. I do have to leave right away. We do have a service tonight at 7 o'clock at Grace Church, about the Friday's tragedy, and I'll be speaking there very shortly. But I do not want to miss this. I feel honored to be part of here tonight. So thank you and good luck, everyone.
When I first met Ashley, it was the first day of our first year in Boston, and she was asking me, Josh, really excited to do Teach for America in Boston, but when are we going to New Bedford? I'm like, I don't really know. And she says, I'm Miss New Bedford. And I was like, I get it. I'm like Mr. Teach for America. She's like, no, really, I'm Miss New Bedford. It's like, we're going to have to make that happen someday. So we thought it would be great if she
Well, thank you, Josh, and thank you all so very much for being here. I cannot express how exciting of a moment this is for me personally to look into this room and see so many people who share my two greatest passions, and that is educating our kids and specifically doing that in the city of New Bedford. I will admit I grew up in Fairhaven, so I grew up wearing the Blue Devils, but I always looked to New Bedford and felt the connection that is the greater New Bedford community. We have something so special here, and even at a very, very young age, I knew that I was lucky to grow up here, and not just because of the food that we had that you couldn't find anywhere else. I knew that this community was something incredible, and that I was lucky, and I was proud of that, and I took that with me when I went away to college. And even when I was teaching, I did my 2 years with Teach for America in Revere, and that's another wonderful community, but the entire time that I was there, I kept looking home and saying, I want to be home. And I am so excited to be here with all of you. So just really quickly, I went to Brandeis University after graduating from Fairhaven High, and I learned about Teach for America very early on, and I said, this is perfect, because I knew I wanted to be in education, but I didn't quite know where I would fit in. I hadn't seen myself as a teacher, really, and I hadn't taken any education classes that would have prepared me to teach while in college. So Teach for America was a perfect way for me to learn about the education field and to see where I could sort of plug in. And I taught in Revere. I absolutely loved it. I was at the high school doing inclusion special education, and my first week of my first year teaching. And I'm so excited. I'm a new teacher. I'm so excited to meet my students. And I had this great idea for my seniors. And I said, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is senior English. I am passing out the common application, because all of you will be wanting to fill these out very soon to plan for as you prepare to apply to college. And I had one student raise her hand. She'd started to fill in her name and address, and she raised her hand and she said, Miss, am I allowed to fill this out? I said, well, of course. I mean, you don't have to put all your personal information right now. I mean, if you don't want me to know where you live, that's fine. But I just want you to practice. I want you to see what this looks like, because you're going to be doing this very soon. She's like, really? Like, I could go to college? And I looked at this young woman who was 18, a senior in high school, still waiting to pass the MCAS, but had no idea that this was a possibility for her future. And we fought like tooth and nail. But at the end of that year, she passed all of her MCAS tests. She passed all of her classes. She went on to complete a program where she was able to get her dental assisting license. And she's now a fully employed dental assistant, putting money away so that she can go on to dental hygiene school. She said, Miss, it's crazy. Like, I want to go back to school. I want to learn some more. Like, this was easy. She said, I had to spend 6 hours one day learning about x-rays, but I knew I could do it. You taught me that. And working with Ashley and working with getting to know her and so many of her peers changed me. I wanted to go into policy. I wanted to be in politics. I wanted to write the laws. I wanted to be the commissioner of education. And suddenly I said, I belong in the classroom. This is for me. And I loved working in Revere, but it was time to go home. And I was so very fortunate that this community once again gave me another gift and opened its arms when I said, I really want to work at New Bedford High School. I wanted to be a whaler my whole life. Will you please give me a job? And they did. And my colleagues have been so incredibly wonderful and welcoming and so supportive. Throughout my 2 years with Teach for America, I always had them in my corner, and I had some fantastic colleagues at Revere helping to make sure that I actually made it through my first 2 years as a teacher. And I had taken a year off in between that experience and coming back to New Bedford, and so I was I didn't have my sea legs with me when I started this year, but the teachers at New Bedford High School are so wonderful and have been so incredibly welcoming, and I just can't say enough about how grateful I am to be here. But I wanted to give you a really quick sense of what some of my kids are saying about their experience. I took a couple notes from their journals, and it said, one student said, I think I've learned a lot in English class. I've learned about myself that I'm mostly good at everything, and that I'm a good person to everybody. I know I can do whatever I set my mind right. I'm going to come to school every day and on time and do all my work on time, and I know I'll achieve my goals. We still have to work on some little grammar stuff, but if I have done nothing else for this young woman in our first few months together, she believes in herself again, and she went from 10, 11 absences in a row, cutting class. Now she says, no, I know it's important to be here. And I would not have been able to work with this young woman and so many other students at New Bedford High School in my home community, these students who have shared what I grew up with, who are a part of my community. They're my kids. I don't have kids yet, that's a long ways off, but they're mine. That's what a community is about, and that's what the community of New Bedford is all about. And I am so grateful that I'm able to work with them every day because of my experiences in training with Teach for America and because of the incredible people that we have working in our New Bedford schools. And so I just want to thank you all so much for being here, and thank you all for the work that you do, for your support of not just Teach for America, but of all of our students in New Bedford. They are incredible young people. I cannot wait to see them all grow up and take on the world. But thank you very much for your continued support and for being here tonight.
I'm not going to say much, but thank you all for coming. Depending on if we get some more folks, we might have round two of speaking, we might not. But we encourage you all to stay, have coffee, have desserts. Core members, if there are people you have not met, please be charming and go introduce yourselves. And really, like we hope this is the beginning of a long-term partnership for us, and that we continue to earn our keep in schools and in the city. And tonight is an important start for us. So thank you all for your support and encouragement and push. And hopefully we'll do this again next year. It'll be a bigger room. So thank you all.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm running late, and I have another obligation at 7. But I just wanted to come down, most of all, and thank TFA New Bedford, for all that you've done over the course of the school year, and look forward to a great future. I'm a big TFA fan. I think you guys got that sense when you came down, and I think things are off, from everything I've heard, everything I've seen, off to a fantastic start. And you guys have brought a vitality to our school system that would serve any school system well, but our school system, which is in a period of transition right now, could use a shot in the arm, and it's getting it from the core of teachers that have started here. And we look forward to growing out your footprint here. You know that you're welcome, and as we were talking just a moment ago, the only fault that I've had with the program here is that you guys don't live in New Bedford, you live in Fall River. But we're fixing that, so it's perfect now. All is well. You guys came to your senses. But Precisely, Peter, precisely. So, yeah, I'll get in trouble if I go any further with this. But I just want to say, I know there's so many people in the room who who believe in our school system and have championed it, you know, like Chrissy and Priscilla, so many others, and Peter from the outside and so many from the inside, Jane and Cheryl. We've got a lot of really good stuff going on in the system now. We know that we've had problems in the system for a while, and I believe, and I'm confident that we've put the brakes on things and that we've turned around and we're heading in the right direction now. And we really appreciate that you guys have jumped on board. We really are trying to, not just in the school system, but across city government, set a standard of excellence. That is our goal, to pursue excellence in everything we do and to make people feel proud that they live here in New Bedford, and proud, in the case of the school department, that they send their kids, as I do, to the New Bedford Public Schools. And so great things are happening. We've got a lot of big stuff that will take place over the course of the year, the biggest of which is the hiring of a new superintendent. We have a search in place now that has great people from the district and has prominent people from the state and the national level. The search is really a high-profile one at the national level. People know that's across the country, in educational circles at least, that there's good things happening in New Bedford, and we look forward to teaming with you guys to be part of that success. So, thanks again for all that you do. Let's keep pushing things forward. Thanks.
And
it doesn't amplify, John.
It doesn't amplify. And
for the purpose of TV land.
I've learned my lesson 3 times now. You missed the earlier part of this, but I thank you for thanking us, but I think the spirit of tonight was to invert that gratitude. So I know on behalf of our teachers and our staff, we're really grateful to be here. Your leadership has been pivotal. We hope we earn our keep. But the community has been so welcoming. Our veteran teachers and mentors and principals and district staff have been so welcoming. We're thrilled to be here and live here soon. And you've been so kind to us. So thank you. That's the after party.